The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of peppercorns, and then you need to crush those peppercorns. They will dig into your cutting board. So here's what I do. I actually measure out these peppercorns. I place them on this towel, and then I will take, here was the dish I had put them in. I will take this dish and then just crush them in with the back of this little container. You can just take this mallet and simply crush those peppercorns too. Now I am going to reserve about a half a tablespoon of these peppercorns that I will use in just a moment to make our sauce. I have 2 pieces of tenderloin steak. To season these steaks really well on all sides. Seasoning should be reflective of the density of the protein that you're working with, as well as the density and the thickness. So this is a really thick piece of steak. I'm going to coat it very liberally in that salt. And then I'm going to take these peppercorns, I'm just going to dump them all onto this sheet pan. I'm going to spread those out in a single layer. And I'm going to take this steak, coated really, really nicely on both sides. I'm going to press those peppercorns into that steak. Take that, I can do that around the middle just a little bit. My biggest concern is both ends of this steak. And turn my skillet on, medium high. I'm going to do both sides of this fillet as well. Pick up, my skillet is smoking. That's exactly what I want. Once that oil goes in there, it's good to go. So again, I heated this cast iron skillet on a medium high. I'm going to take my crusted peppercorns and lay them into this skillet. I've got a really nice sizzle going there. I just turned that temperature up just a little bit. I want those babies to sear really, really well. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. I want these steaks to sit in that hot pan on that one side. They'll need about 3 minutes. Stop that timer really quick. Turn these over. I'm going to show you the beautiful crust. Look at that gorgeous crust. That's all I've got to do on the stovetop. See on the sides of my steak that it's not done. In fact, I can temp it right here, and we'll see where we're sitting at temperature wise. Just right here. We're sitting at about 60 degrees internally. That's about half of where I want it to be. I'm going to stick it in the oven. We're going to wait 4 minutes for that steak to cook. These steaks out and temp them. So timer off. Let's see what we're looking at in the middle. I'm going to take them out. They're gorgeous. I'm going to turn the heat on. To start this sauce, we want a little bit of fat in this pan. So I'm going to add, I can see it's a tiny bit dry. I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil, add some butter. The olive oil will help keep that butter from burning. So in go the shallots. They're browned from a lot of that wonderful good stuff on the bottom of this pan. In goes my garlic. Is to stir this until you get the beautiful aroma of that garlic. Turn the flame off my burner. I'm going to put in the brandy. It just cleaned up the bottom of this cast iron skillet. Turn my flame back on. And it almost just, reduced by half immediately. I've got about half a cup of stock. Now I'm going to turn that up because I want that to simmer and reduce by half. All right, I'm going to turn that heat down. I'm going to let that cool for just a minute. I'm going to now take about a half a cup of cream, still bubbling. And I'm going to turn my burner back on once my cream is in here. So you cook that cream and that will thicken up really, really nicely. So let me bring that to a bubble. I'm not going to boil it. Grab my little tasting spoon here. All right, I'm going to taste this. Oh, so good. Needs a little bit of salt. I'm going to turn the fire off now. Oh, that is so good. I'm going to throw in the thyme, just a little bit of chopped thyme into that. So there's my beautiful sauce right on that plate. And then here is my beautiful protein, and lunch is served.